is Helen Machimbirike, the National ASRH Officer in Zimbabwe for the Zimbabwe National Family Planning Services. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Bryan.
Right. Tell us, what does your job imply?
Okay, my job involves taking a lead in the coordination and management of the National Adolescent Sexual Reproductive Health Program in Zimbabwe. So the management bit involves the planning, the implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the ASRH program. So I'll be taking a lead in the coordination of stakeholders and our provinces in the planning, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation of the program. And it also involves providing technical guidance in the designing of different ASRH interventions. It might be comprehensive sexuality education, provision of youth-friendly services, parent-child communication, all those different packages. It's also my role in taking a lead in the designing, but in consultation with the different stakeholders and also our provinces.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about parent-to-child communication. Could you explain more what it involves and what exactly it is?
When you're talking about adolescent sexual reproductive health, we are talking about the adolescent who is living in a community and who also is living in a family setup like the parents. So some of the challenges which are being faced by adolescents involves lack of knowledge on sexuality issues. So we are saying sexuality issues should be first discussed at a household level. So the parents are the ones who should be involved in those discussions. But the challenge which we have here in Zimbabwe, discussing sexuality issues with adolescents or children, between parents and children, is a taboo. So we want to break that barrier of communication between children and their parents. So we have a package which makes it easier for parents to start initiating conversations on sexuality with their own children at home.
And how is, as you say, that it's quite taboo in Zimbabwe, how has this been taken up by the general populace?
Yeah, we have just started, but it's promising. It's a promising practice for Zimbabweans, because parents are welcoming the intervention in the package, because it actually makes life easier for both parents, because the intervention targets both the parents and the adolescent themselves. So it actually makes life easier to start conversation on those issues, which earlier on have been a taboo.
I think it's a very pressing issue, especially now with technology, that maybe children are exposed to technology at an early age. And if they don't get information from their parents, they'll get it elsewhere.
Yeah, because young people have got different sources. Yeah, you are correct there, because young people are accessing this sexuality information from different sources, and most of the information they are getting it from the media, from the internet, from the pornographic websites, which is actually misinformation. So this intervention is a very important intervention, because there is no parent who does not want his only child not to have any hindrance during the adolescent period. So if they get sexuality information from your own parent, usually the information will be good and won't harm you. So it's very important for the parents to give the correct information to their own children, because if they do not discuss sexuality issues with their own children, it does not mean that the children won't get the information somewhere. They will still get the information from wrong sources, usually misinformed, especially from their own peers. And you know, peers, they exaggerate things. And also, especially I'll give you an example of the pornographic sites. Of course, the information is on sexuality, but how it's done is exaggerated. It's a movie, it's being acted. So adolescents will think that's the way it should be done, but not knowing that it's for commercial purposes and it's not the normal things, how things should be done. So it's very important for parents to discuss and give correct information to their own children.
What made you, I see you have a passion for for adult young. What made you have that drive, that passion?
Yeah, it's maybe 3 or 2 issues. One of them, I might say, it's my only personal experience as an adolescent. Maybe I'd like to inform you that I come from a family, from the family background. It's a very conservative family background, a religious, a Christian background. So I was also my upbringing was very strict, and though we're discussing these issues of sexuality, but it was abstinence only. And I wasn't given any information on the use of contraceptives, but remember I was still under the roof of the parents. But the moment I went to the university, maybe I was among the first girls to get pregnant. So that affected me because I feel I lost out a lot of, I did not enjoy my adolescence to its fullest. So those experience being a young mother, also going to school as a young mother, living in a one-roomed house, one room, we're using a primer stove, all those things, because I was chased away from, because my boyfriend could not even pay lobola until I got through the school, all those things, young mother, I need to have a maid, also going to school. And earlier on those days, we used to get some payouts, but imagine for other girls who could have fallen in the same predicament, now it would be even more difficult because they do not have any payouts. So for me, it wasn't. I would see my other peers, they were still enjoying their payouts, but denied to share my payout with my child and also with my husband. So it was very difficult for me. So I also would want, so I'm using those personal experiences to empower other young girls and even my own children. I don't hide what happened to me because I tell them the truth so that they won't fall in the same trap.
Very powerful. And what words, any last words, maybe especially any young girl, any young woman who might be watching, what words would you want to say to them? Yeah, for the young girls there, I'm saying be yourself and enjoy your adolescence to the fullest. During the adolescence, it's a time for, of course, it's a time for physical development and emotional development, but it's also the time for social development. Take the advantage of this adolescence period to plan for your future. You should know why we are here, why you were created, know your purpose for life, so that you work towards achieving your purpose for life. Because if you do not do that, some challenges which you meet during adolescence might hinder you into achieving what you want to do in life, and you won't do it for the whole of your life. So don't be disturbed or by anything. Just be focused and know what you want in life. Very powerful. Thank you very much for spending time with us. Thank you very much, Mr.